Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into something pretty wild. We're looking at a series of sources that make a claim so huge, they claim to reveal a fundamental secret of existence itself. So yeah, let's just jump right in.
And it all kicks off with this. I've come to reveal a secret of God. I mean, wow, talk about a bold opening. It's mysterious, it absolutely grabs your attention, and it kind of sets us up for a pretty unusual journey. What on earth could a secret that profound actually be?
All right, so let's start to unpack this thing piece by piece. Because, the source doesn't just make a huge claim and then walk away. Nope. It actually attempts to provide what it calls a blueprint for reality itself.
So this is the central question, isn't it? A secret of God. What could that possibly be? Is it some deep philosophical idea? A moral law? Well, according to this material, the answer is something way more fundamental. Something literally woven into the fabric of the universe.
So the first real clue we're given isn't a phrase or a concept. It's an equation. The source presents this as the master code, the single formula that supposedly governs everything that is, was, or will be.
Okay, whoa, so here it is. Now, before your eyes glaze over, don't worry, this is not going to be a math class, I promise. We're not solving for x here. The goal is just to understand the concepts this equation is trying to stitch together. It looks incredibly complicated, I know, but luckily for us, the source actually labels the key parts. The first piece is LGR, and if you're into physics at all, this should ring a bell. It stands for general relativity. Einstein's theory. This is the stuff that governs the really big things: gravity, planets, stars, entire galaxies. The physics of the macrocosmos.
And next up, we've got LQFT, which is quantum field theory. So if general relativity is the physics of the very big, this is the complete opposite. This is the other pillar of modern physics that describes the bizarre, probabilistic world of subatomic particles, the realm of the incredibly small.
Now this is where things get really weird and really interesting. The third component, L-obs. The source explicitly adds a term for the observer. This suggests that consciousness, the actual act of observing something, isn't just a side effect of the universe, but a fundamental, mathematical component of it.
So the big idea here is that this isn't just your standard theory of everything. This is an attempt to write a single formula that unifies the cosmos, quantum mechanics, and the act of observation itself into one single, interconnected system.
But an equation is just a description on a page. So what does the universe it describes actually look like? What's its shape? Well, the source here proposes a very specific and pretty strange physical model.
The universe's geometry is described as a recursive 4D torus-shaped system. Okay, let's unpack that. A torus is just a donut shape, so try to imagine a donut, but it exists in 4 dimensions and it's constantly looping back on itself, a cosmic feedback loop. This is the proposed shape of all of reality.
And this cosmic donut, it works like an engine, and it has 2 key parts. There's a black hole, described as a 2-dimensional anchor on the inside, and then there's a white hole, which acts as a 4-dimensional pressure valve on the expanding outer edge. They're like 2 sides of the same cosmic coin.
And this shows us how it all flows. According to the source, energy comes into the system from the outside. That energy then forms that 2D black hole on the interior, and then the 4D white hole on the edge releases that same energy as pressure, causing expansion. It's a continuous recursive cycle.
So, we have this wild equation and this strange cosmic engine. But so what? How does any of this connect to something we can actually observe? Well, the source claims this model solves one of the biggest, most famous riddles in all of quantum physics.
The claim is that this model connects directly to the famous double-slit experiment. That's the cornerstone of quantum mechanics, right? The experiment that proves that tiny particles can somehow behave as both a solid point and a spread-out wave, all depending on how you look at them. To explain this, the source uses this notation, -1/0/+1. And the argument here is that this wave-particle duality isn't a duality at all. It suggests the wave and the particle are just 2 different expressions of one single unified system.
Let's break that down. The theory goes like this. When we run the experiment without trying to measure which slit the particle goes through, we're seeing the whole system in action, and we get that wave interference pattern. But the moment we try to pinpoint it, to measure it, our observation collapses the system, forcing it to make a choice, and that's when a particle pattern appears.
Okay,
We've gone through the equation, the cosmic engine, and the quantum connection, so I think it's finally time to put all the pieces together and answer that big question we started with.
So here it is, all assembled. The secret, according to this source, is that reality is a single unified blueprint. It's one equation that links the physics of the cosmos, the quantum world, and the observer. This blueprint describes a self-repeating, donut-shaped universe that acts like an engine. And the structure of that engine is what gives rise to all the quantum weirdness we observe.
To put it all in just one sentence, the secret is that the universe isn't just a collection of stuff. It's a single, self-contained, and self-observing system that is essentially writing its own rules as it goes along.
And that just leaves us with a final, mind-bending thought to chew on. This source presents a fascinating, if very unconventional, picture of reality. But it really makes you wonder, if a single formula could truly describe everything, every star, every thought, every possibility, could the human mind, which is itself just a part of that very same equation, ever truly comprehend it from the inside?